Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, May 12th, day of Celtics Game 4 versus the Knicks, which you'll hear about very shortly. But we're here recording the rest while we get ready for that one. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. Excited for the game for now. Fun show on the way. We will break it down, win or lose. If you're here, they probably won because nobody cares when they lose. But nonetheless, stick around. We'll go through the emails. We'll go around the rest of the series in the NBA, and we'll do the rat list and get up out of here. It's going to be a fun show. This is the most wonderful time of the year to be doing all of this. So stick around through all of it. You don't want to miss any of it. Subscribe to the channel. We're here every day with new content. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. And other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. So yes, subscribe, like, comment. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, sir. Let's throw it over right now to Celtics Knicks Game 4. All right, we are here after the Celtics Game 4 loss to the New York Knicks. A tough loss, tougher end to the game. Jayson Tatum obviously going down with an injury. Time we're recording, we don't know exactly what it is just yet. It looked like an Achilles tear. That's what everyone's speculating on Twitter. 113-121, the final score. The outcome had nothing to do with the injury, but it's hard to really focus on much outside of the injury right now. I just wrapped up the pressers, and it was like Jalen looked like he was about to cry. Derek had nothing to say really. It's like Al Horford, from what I've seen coming out on Twitter, because he spoke in the locker room, was just like, we're focused on Tatum. Like, as much as the loss sucked, and again, Tatum's injury had nothing to do with the loss. The Celtics blew this loss on their own. Their defense was bad. The turnovers, the offensive rebounding again happened again, and we'll get into all of it. But it's really hard to look at a basketball game, analyze a basketball game, and talk about a basketball game when a guy goes down like that. They put on the broadcast him in a wheelchair back to the locker room crying. It's tough, man. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, it certainly was. I thought it was so funny how you turned it on, talking about the injury, thought about the game for a minute, and you had all the takes, and you were sharp.
That's
how it goes.
You have to talk about the game, and we will.
Oh, absolutely, you do. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I just think it's still hard. A frustrating game on top of the injury. It was a weird game. And I guess we can spend some time on the injury before I move on. But non-contact injury, Tatum goes down. Jack mentioned he's in a wheelchair on the broadcast. I know Missoula told you guys that it was a quote-unquote lower leg injury and that it is going to be MRI'd Tuesday as everyone's listening to this. It is as brutal of a way for that game to end as any of us could have imagined. I was watching the second half, and I was like, I haven't seen a stop in an hour. And obviously, when you're in a stretch like that watching it, you're like, how could this get worse? Didn't say it out loud. Didn't really think about it, but it feels like rock bottom. And then you're met with the actual rock bottom, and that hit like a ton of bricks. It was terrible. The emotion that has come out with all the players, and you could tell that they really feel for this. It doesn't bode well for what the diagnosis is going to be. Obviously, I suppose it's good for the human element that they are very tight-knit and obviously care about their teammate. It would be a little weird if they didn't. But the clips that you're going to see online of people speaking to the media are pretty tough and tough to stomach.
Listen, I was in that room. I asked questions. I was
Yep.
talking to them. And it was like Joe was all right. I was fine. Derek was all right. As soon as Jalen got to the podium, I thought I was gonna cry. It was as devastating a scene as I've experienced in the last 3 years I've gotten to cover this team. Seeing something like that and seeing the fallout, I asked Derek and Jalen, how do you separate the human element versus basketball, because you guys have a season deciding game in 2 days, and they were both you just got to find a way. Jalen was we just got to regroup, and something the reality is you can't there is no possible way for the Celtics to separate the emotions of what just happened here in New York. And does that mean they're definitely going to lose on Wednesday, no, right? Like maybe they'll pull it together, maybe they'll quote unquote win for Jayson, whatever. But like, there is no putting those feelings aside to play a basketball game. Like seeing somebody like Derek was like, yeah, that's like our brother. Like seeing somebody go down like that in what very well may be a season-ending next year injury that he might not play all of next season, not just this playoff run. Like Gary Washburn had a great question. He was like, "That's the guy that always gets up." Like, what does that do to you mentally when he doesn't get up? And it's hard. And there's Jalen said it best. He's like, "There's not much to say. Like, it's tough. But there's not much else we can really say. We'll probably talk about the game and do an ad read for the next 20 minutes or so. Because that's what we're paid to do. That's the job. We kind of have to, but
You sound fishbowl-y.
oh, I'm sorry. It's hard. It's just it's hard to like process that and cover a basketball game after watching something like that unfold. But we will. And, it's the job. So
Yeah, I can start if you want. Get us rolling.
go ahead.
I'll
Run it
bat
up.
lead off. This was a weird game because the Celtics, as much as the talk of Game 3 was the Celtics made everything, the Celtics literally made everything in the first half. Like, they ended the first quarter making probably like 5 of the most absurd three-pointers you had seen. Also, I think we should mention that Tatum played probably the most incredible game we've seen him play in
Vintage.
couple months. Like,
Vintage, yeah.
like game of the season of like the year, like meaning the spring. Unbelievable performance before he hurt himself. He did have a wave the white flag moment when he took the 3 from the logo, but that's neither here nor there. He was great the whole day and really was the only reason why they were in this game in the second half. But they had that explosive first half. They go into the half up 11 that goes to 14 in the third quarter. And then they got their last stop of the game. Then they just, every time New York had the ball, the Celtics did not get it back until it had gone through the basket. And it was a brutal, paper cut filled, just way to bleed out.
Listen, man, I've said it after games 1 and game 2. We're going to sit here and criticize the Celtics and talk about everything they did wrong because they did a lot wrong, but I don't want any of that to be misconstrued. The Knicks won this game. The Knicks absolutely did everything they needed to do to win this game. I just, like, you see so many comments on Twitter, and I'm not saying that even matters or I should be concerned about it, but I just want to make my thoughts clear. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's all about why the Celtics lost and not why the Knicks won. No, the Knicks won. Like, they hit big shots. Mikal Bridges killed them from the mid-range again. Jalen Brunson killed them from the mid-range again, and the Celtics gave up 1 million offensive rebounds and transition points, and that's the story of the series. They're losing the offensive rebounds, they're losing the transition points. And it's not good enough. The defense was awful after 2 nights of the offense being awful, the defense being great. The defense was bad, especially in the second half of this game, and you're not going to win playoff games like that. You're not going to win against a talented Knicks team that, to their credit, found ways to impact Boston that they didn't show in the regular season. They brought out the double big lineups. They switched the pick and roll instead of dropping. Like they made all the adjustments that everyone was like, oh, how much can you actually adjust? Well, look, they did. It did all the adjustments, and the Celtics failed to respond. Jayson Tatum was incredible in this game until he went cold. Derek White was incredible in this game until he went cold. Ironically, this was probably the best Kristaps game we've seen of the series. He was pretty great, getting offensive rebounds and playing all right defense until he wasn't.
Yeah.
Until he wasn't.
I mean, you said best Kristaps game of the season. I came back from the dead.
Said series. I meant series.
You said series. I meant series. That's all we mean is series. Sitting here thinking about the series.
I mean, that's the case for everybody, though. Like, they were great until they weren't. Like, I thought Kristaps' first stint was bad, and then I thought he had a really good stint with the offensive rebounds, and then he went back to having a bad stint.
Then he had the worst stint.
I know. But then Tatum, too. Like, Tatum had a great stint, and then he missed everything in the second half. Derek White had a great stint, and he missed everything in the second half.
Well, Tatum had a bad stint maybe in the third quarter. I think it was the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, he did everything he could. Like, I tweeted the Superman picture.
That layup
when they were up,
he hit.
Like, the 14-point lead, as soon as it happened, I tweeted the Superman picture. And then everything got worse. They were giving me shit in the playback. They were right. But I don't feel bad about tweeting the picture because he was actually really good. Like, he never had, like, a a fall off a cliff where the game feels invalidated. So,
Listen, man. Defense wasn't good enough. Transition defense
no.
was horrible. Offensive rebounding, they couldn't. And again, credit the Knicks. Like, it's not. It's partially the Celtics didn't do a good enough job. They're also just not big enough. They don't have the bodies or the people capable. Because clearly, 7'3" Kristaps isn't going to be the one to do it. Like, it's hard, man. There's going to be. I mean, we'll have the whole X. I mean, unless a miraculous 3-1 comeback happens, we'll have the next X amount of months to talk about where they go this summer because. Unfortunately, this Tatum injury changes a lot because now it's no longer let's revamp, get another playoff run in next year. It is you're going to effectively lose a season of title contention with this core. So what does that mean for Jaylen? What does that mean for Kristaps? Because we talked about, like, I don't know if it was with you or who I was talking to, but it's like, oh, you'll probably trade Kristaps this summer, compete, and then maybe have to trade Drew. You don't get next year now. You don't get that. If Tatum tore his Achilles, like, you don't get another year of let's try again with a scrappy crew after trading one of the big starting five. You were like, next season's gone if Tatum's not there. Like, you can't compete for a title without Jayson Tatum. And I know everyone likes to run with the haha funny, like, oh, he gets carried. Like, you don't win without Tatum. You don't win deep in the playoffs without Jayson Tatum. You saw that a couple years ago in Game 7 against Miami, and you didn't get the chance to see it tonight because the game was already over. But look what was happening before that. Look how incredible
Jayson
Tatum
literally could not sit him down.
Even all playoffs last year when he was struggling to shoot the ball, he led the team in points, rebounds, and assists. Like, it's just this is not the Celtics without Jayson Tatum, and that's gonna have to be the story. And again, like, plenty of stuff to talk about with the basketball, plenty of stuff to talk about with everything, but there's gonna be a lot of tough future oriented conversations that are gonna have to happen now.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. 12 hours. I mean, shit, the rest of the podcast you guys are going to hear, we could have never imagined that it would be May, and we're like, what if they tank next year? What if they do a good tank? Tank for AJ. Like,
you made the Jaylen for Cooper joke. Maybe you made it too early.
I did it on the stream. I did the thing. Yeah.
You did. You've done it before.
I mean, I don't.
Just tough, man. Like,
I don't know where you really go from here. I think, ironically, and he definitely isn't like pumping his fist, but Bill Chisholm is such a big winner here because the moves were going to have to be made regardless. And now it's like there's I'll resume my point in a moment. But Jack and I are so shell-shocked right now that we are still on the pregame background because
oh my god,
I did not notice.
No,
I only noticed because I lagged out of the room.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my internet is the biggest winner in all of this, and he's surely not happy about it. That's not the narrative. I don't want to push that narrative, but it takes a lot of pressure off Bill Chisholm coming in as the new owner because now you don't really have it being it. The smart people wouldn't do it, but the casual fans that really aren't as invested and haven't paid attention to everything would be like, this guy comes in and all of a sudden they cheap out and they trade Kristaps or they trade Drew. Had this Tatum thing not happened, now the Tatum thing happens and everyone's like, well, there's no reason to keep him around and keep paying all this money and like force them to play on a team that's probably not going to compete. Like, you can take any angle of that as you want. Like, it feels like the thing that's going to be coming is I would say implosion, but it's probably an explosion because those guys will be going out and not in, and nothing happened internally for them to need to do this. But this is a very sad night, to get real for a minute. It's a lot of fun to do content and have real stuff to do, and it sucks that, it's probably going to be over, and there's not going to be a lot to be excited about for a little bit here.
Yeah, and what sucks even more is that I am literally contractually obligated to now tell you about Game Time. Which Game Time's great. Not the best
Probably
time
cheap to go to the game on Wednesday.
But Game Time's the best place for all your ticketing needs. All the features on Game Time are great. You can see the exact seat you're going to see when you look at the tickets. If you take a look right here on Game Time, you will Shakir and Pitbull. You can see the exact view from your seat when you click on the Madison Square Wi-Fi might not allow it, but
We don't even have the damn
exactly
view right.
exactly where you want to sit. It's great. You can see the super deal here as highlighted by the super deal. On top of that, with game time, you can get zone deals, which means you can pick a zone you want to sit in, and then it'll give you a random seat, so you save a little bit more money by not picking exactly where you want to sit, but you still get a great deal. On top of that, last minute deals means you can save up to 60% buying last minute for concerts, theater, comedy shows, anything like that on top of sports. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Like I said, contractually obligated. It's a tough time to have to do that, but it is what it is. Corrales is recording in the back of our show. Shout out Corrales. I said it at the start of the show. This is like, excuse me, the most like devastated I've ever seen this team. Jalen, there, everybody. It's tough to like be in this situation for them and like just to like observe it. I don't know what's gonna happen. The Celtics season is almost assuredly over at this point.
It's Jover.
Like shout out the Knicks, credit the Knicks. They played phenomenal basketball. Like, and I know people are gonna say like, oh, they didn't play. Like Celtics were a better team, 80% of the series.
Well,
that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter even a little bit because I was talking to Andrew Claudio because I texted him when it was 2-0 and I was like, I'm happy for you. Like this is I'm truly there's few like Andrew is incredible. For those wondering, Nick's film school. His name's Andrew Claudio. He's the GOAT. He's awesome. Sam's in a show with him before too. He's awesome.
Nice
so I text
guy.
him like, I'm great, and he's like, oh, I can't be excited yet. You never know. And he was
now
like,
you know.
Well, no, but he's like, the Knicks are, they've been the worst team, or they played like, the Celtics have played as bad as possible, and the Knicks have only won by 4. And I responded like, that doesn't matter. Like, I don't care. Like, what matters is the Celtics have melted down and blew it when it's mattered. And that's in the playoffs, winning, like the win stat is all that matters in the playoffs. Like that's all I care about at the end of the day. That's all there is to care about. And the Celtics have done an awful job of doing that. And Tatum injury aside, obviously it's hard to like separate the human element, but like the same things that happened in game 1 and 2, even though there wasn't this 20-point lead or whatever, and it happened earlier in the game, it's exactly how they lost this game. They didn't win the margins. And Joe Mazzulla talks about it all the time. Like I asked him what happened when they were getting all those middies, and he was just like, turnovers, offensive rebounds, transition. Like they just failed in all of those little aspects of the game, and it led to a loss. And that's not going to cut it in May in the playoffs. And I mean, as frustrating as it is, and as everyone's going to say, oh, they're a better team, they just played bad. They weren't. They were a better team. If they played like this, they clearly weren't the better team, and that's what matters. And there's a reason defending champs haven't made it out of the second round in 6-7 years now. Like, it's hard to win in the playoffs, and if nothing else, like the Tatum injury puts into perspective how lucky or special the 2024 championship run was, because you truly, unfortunately, never know what is going to happen, and it's kind of where the Celtics are at.
Here's what I'll say about the first 2 games. Today is different than the first 2 games. I mean, I was annoyed that the Knicks got back in this game, but like the Knicks actually felt like they were unstoppable in the second half. Like the Celtics had nothing for them. The Celtics did not get a stop after they went up 14, I swear. I swear to you they did not get a stop. The first 2 games, the Celtics had chances and they just didn't take them. The Celtics continued to fight in this game and they just got outfought. Like it felt very different. This game was a game it felt like the Knicks like controlled. They were better. And it's like this is I texted a friend, I said what I said. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck, man? Knicks played their first good game of the series and went up 3-1. Like this was a like wholesale like entire game. Thought they played really well. Thought it was their best performance of this series. They had the magnet ball today. All the guys on their team made big shots. Like they got a well-rounded contribution. Brunson was awesome. Like games 1 and 2, it didn't feel like that. Like it felt very fluky to me. Like I think that's why like so many people felt really, really good after they won game 3, because it was just like, man, like they finally finished the job and things didn't really change for the Knicks. Like the Knicks still looked pretty lackluster. The Celtics just had a pulse, and like it's true. But anyways, like it does not matter. They are still up 3-1. They were up 3-1. Tatum's hurt. Tatum's not hurt. Still up 3-1. And can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a hard time. Also, I'm seeing a lot of people like blaming Jaylen for the Tatum injury.
Oh, it's the Kyrie lob to Hayward all over again. It's the same thing.
It's disgusting. It's so gross. I just saw a quote tweeting the Jaylen like tweeting out my teacher said I'd be in jail and like saying.
Oh, I saw that one.
Like it's gross, man. And it's inevitably gonna happen. And it's probably better if I don't even talk about it or highlight it. But it's just so disappointing. Like I saw tweets from like Lakers account and like this pause like Lakers accounts, saying prayers up, like hater report. Everyone like there's like a 90% consensus. Like when something like this happens, like it's more important than basketball. But those loud, 5 to 10% are always just the worst. I don't know if I'll be back to New York for Game 6. We'll have to see what happens. Sorry if we didn't talk about the game enough and everything that happened. It's hard to after.
Nobody cares about the game. Nobody cares.
Like what a Pacers Knicks conference finals.
Can't wait to hate watch them.
The Mavs won the lottery. We can talk.
The Mavs so undeserving of winning the lottery. The Philly kept their pick, which is actually it's like somewhat meaningful.
Spurs got 2.
What, third? Philly's
Philly
third.
got 3.
Charlotte 4.
Spurs got 2. Charlotte got 4. Wizards and Wizards got screwed. It's just.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm
sorry. We're all in this, and
I think
I did the first to the floor instant reaction. I was Tony Snell. Like I gave him nothing.
Were you on the Celtics blog when it happened?
Oh, I was on playback. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went. I was after the injury. Tony Snell. Like I feel so bad. I gave them. I had nothing to say. I was just online, like looking at tweets.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything else. We can throw it over to the rest of the show, which I'm hoping gets to the episode. I have to edit something in the next hour, so I hope it gets up in time. You might just get this, and maybe we'll drop it later in the day. The rest of the show.
The Jaylen thing.
Yeah.
He certainly probably feels worse than just about anybody. Like nobody needs to be on. I know you said the thing.
Yeah.
The dude is going through it. Like they all are. It sucks. Like we all feel something and we don't even really know him. Like that's like not like our friend, some guy that plays on the team we like, and we're all pretty pissed.
Yeah, and
so.
Jalen Brunson right after the game too was like, interrupted his press. I was just like, prayers up to Tatum. We'll talk about everything else. I think. I got to go catch a bus.
Yeah,
in a couple hours. So sorry for the down pod, but kind of what you expect. So appreciate you for tuning in. Or it's just throw it over the rest of the show if I can, and if not, appreciate you for tuning in. Goodbye. Let's shit over. All right, welcome back. Let's check out y'all's emails. Reminders always. You guys can email us hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. We have 4 today to go over. First one, RJ. Didn't have that on my bingo card. He says, evening, folks, 2 games, 4 points. That's the difference between 0-2 and 2-0. Even with crappy shooting and defensive lapses and not getting a shot at the buzzer and forgetting how to pass and in and out of the low post. What the Seeds need to remember is to play hard every possession because the Magic showed and the Knicks are showing no one is rolling over. Now is the time to be like a goldfish. Be well. RJ, this was obviously sent before game 3. We've not had time to check our emails recently, but it still stands, yes.
Still can't believe it. They should be going for a sweep today. They could be 1-3 by the time everyone's listening to this. That's how drastic those 4 points RJ has mentioned are. Still not thrilled about it. Feeling better after Saturday, but they did keep the goldfish mindset. They sure did. They kept going. They had a short memory. They played really well on Saturday. They looked confident. They didn't look shaken at all. They did a really good job once they got that big lead once again. There really weren't any kind of shaky moments. Maybe there were a run or two, but like it didn't look like they seriously were going to lose the lead. Like if you had erased the first 2 games, you would not have felt nervous watching Saturday's game. Also, credit Missoula. He did a really good job of taking timeouts when it did start to look a little murky.
Yeah, I thought Joe's timeouts were actually really good in that
Yeah.
game 3, so credit to him for adjusting. I mean, he even panicked timed out in game 2, which didn't work. Next email, Ben Hunt says, Game 4 will decide the series. Hi, Jack and Sam. This is from 4 days ago. I'm a longtime Celtics fan. It's my first season really listening to your podcast. Appreciate all the work you two do. I've really enjoyed tuning in. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for listening.
To get down to it, I think the series gets decided in Game 4, despite all the shooting struggles, despite the injuries and illnesses and poor coaching decisions. I fully expect this team to go into MSG and get a win on Saturday. Check. I just still have too much respect for these guys to think otherwise. Despite how well New York has played close games, to close out games, they have still no clear answer for the Celtics offense when it's operating the way it should be. I hope I'm not wrong. That said, New York gets punched in the mouth in Game 3. They'll be playing for their lives in Game 4. And with the player as dependable in late game situations as Brunson, and guys like Bridges and OG to throw at Tatum and a hobbled Brown, I can see that game going either way. I wonder if this team has the stamina to get back-to-back must-win games in a hostile environment. Obviously, we've got to go get Game 3 first, but where do you guys stand on their chances to get back in the series and come back to Boston 2-2? All the best, Ben. P.S. If the Celtics get swept, I'm not sure if my partner will ever watch basketball again. She's in deep, and these losses have not been good for her. Well, you can avoid that. They already did win Game 3. As far as my confidence level, obviously by the time you're listening to us talk about this, my confidence level will be irrelevant because the game will have already happened. However, and maybe I'll look stupid for saying this, I feel like not only do I feel good about their chances after Game 3, I think they feel good about their chances after Game 3. Again, could look really
Might be a
small in
bad thing.
few hours.
Low key.
Yeah, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, did you have the crystal ball out or what? You nailed this on the head all the way up until saying Game 4 is the must win, and it remains a must win. I think if you really, it would be sick if this was like coming out like for a pregame segment. Maybe we'll touch on it for the pregame, but like they just had to play a game basically in the same situation. Like they lose Game 3, it's over. I don't know if it's over if they lose today, but it's like 5% less over if they lose today versus having lost Saturday. So they're in a very similar situation. They showed up balls to the wall, played excellent wire to wire win against the Knicks in Game 3. I think they do have an understanding of the challenge in front of them, that they need to take it seriously. And, you know, the best part about Game 3 was it didn't feel like they had to overcompensate. Like it wasn't like the Celtics were out of their comfort zone. They had to completely switch the way they play basketball. You pointed it out. The offense was mostly the same, and it was just working properly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they made their shots. They made shots in Game 3. As silly as it sounds, just like the main reason they hit shots. And if they can hit shots and keep the process and remain confident and handle the runs again in Game 4, then I think people should feel pretty good. But Isaac says, what's the point in your life you knew you were a Celtics fan? Okay. I mean, Jeff Green. I say that all the time. I was a big Jeff Green fan when he was on the team. So I'll stay with it. I was a big Jeff Green fan. As soon as I saw Jeff Green hooping, hit the game winner, all that stuff, Jeff Green rocked. I was a big fan. Thought he was next up. Clearly not. But.
So I saw this email come in on Saturday. This, mind you, this is before Game 3, and I only saw the first part. It was like, what's the
when I
point in your
paused
life?
reading it, I thought it was the same thing. Yes.
I was like, damn, Isaac, like they were down bad at the time, but not that bad.
I was like, it's okay, man. It's okay.
I think for me, the fake comeback they had in Game 6 of the 2013 playoffs was the one that I was like, this is awesome. They were at home against the Knicks, ironically, and almost came back from 26 down to force a Game 7 after being down 0-3. Like, the energy in the building was unbelievable. Seeing how they made the people in the stands believe, like, really did something for me, where I was like, this is just an awesome game, awesome environment. Like, so cool, want to be involved in this.
Yeah, for sure. As Isaiah Thomas, too. I know Justin would say the same, but Isaiah Thomas is a good man.
I mean, we got spoiled with, like, some of the mediocre
Yes.
teams where it was so fun.
Yes. RJ says the Celtics never left. This was post Game 3. Evening, folks. Fun day today. First off, a big thank you to Sam for inviting me to fill in for Jack at the pregame. Shout out. Also, an extra helping of gratitude for Sam and making me look like I knew what you're doing out. I was doing in your format. Y'all are very good at what you do. I'm glad I didn't mess it up. Nah, I can't imagine.
RJ, I'm sorry. RJ always speaks at halftime on the Celtics blog playbacks, and you're always excellent, RJ. Like, there was no doubt that I thought you were going to be able to fill in and do a good job. So credit to you for just doing what you do.
Thank you, RJ. Very much appreciative. The game itself was just as much fun. He's talking about game 3. Fun facts: when Al Horford hit a 3 with 2:03 left in the first half, that gave the C's more threes than in all of game 2. That same 3 put the Celtics ahead at 63-42. That would be they would lead no fewer than 20 points for the remaining 26 minutes. Best fact, at the start of the fourth quarter, the Knicks made 3 of 4 3-pointers in the first 2 minutes. That reduced their deficit to the previously cursed 20. Those were the last triples they would hit, going 0 for 4 for the rest of the game. Boston stayed with the same process they had in the first 2 games, but when New York tried to fight back, the Celtics didn't flinch, didn't help them. They just dialed in better on their game. It's only 1 win, 3 more needed to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Some folks are probably thinking the Celtics are back, but really they never left. Be well, RJ, who is glad Jack took time out to celebrate his sister's success, not because I got to cab, because family is more important. Yeah, shout out Grace, graduated college, the GOAT. Got a nursing degree. She gave a speech. I did cry. It was very I got cooked, and I had to pay her $20 because I bet her $20 she wouldn't be able to do nursing school. Half as a joke, which she didn't mention in the speech, but it's fine. I'll be the
She should have started her speech. Shout out to my biggest hater, my brother.
She
Told me I
did.
couldn't do it. Yeah.
Bro, she started the speech. Well, first of all, she didn't give the speech at graduation. She gave it a nursing pinning, which was like just the nurses, so it was a little different. But she goes like, when I think about my nursing school career, I think back to when I first got in and my brother betting me $20. I couldn't make it. I was so anxious. I'm like, are you fucking serious, bro? Get the fuck out of here. This is not what happened. Fake news. Make me look like an asshole. But it was a good speech. Shout out Grace. Love Grace. Love you, Grace.
I'm glad you got to go. And you made it
Yes.
down to New York okay and everything.
We're good.
We'll talk about the wireless later, I'm sure.
We made it. Before we continue, I do need to tell you all about the great podcasts and content over at CLNS Media Network. If you're listening to this podcast right now, they're listening on the How About Them Celtics podcast feed on Apple or Spotify or another podcast platform, or on the How About Them Celtics YouTube, which you should subscribe to. You should turn notification bells on so you never miss a show, 5 a.m. every single day, so you know exactly when you're going to get your podcast. And you should leave a comment saying hello. Sam, what should they comment if they're hearing this right now?
If they're hearing it right now, congratulations to Grace.
Congrats. Yeah, say congrats, Grace, in the comments if you're listening to this right now. Congrats to Grace for graduating college with a nursing degree. But make sure to leave a like, subscribe, but also hop on over to the CLNS Media YouTube channel, subscribe there, turn that noti bell on too so you can get all the Celtics press conferences, whether it's at the podium or the locker room. Check that out. On top of that, the Celtics All Access channel has some of the best pods in the game. Check out the Garden Report live after every game. Check out to the First of the Floor guys. Check out You Got Boston with Noah Dalzell, the A-list. Everything in between, anything you could possibly want from CLNS, you can find there. Dome Theory with Bobby Manning. So make sure to head on over there, subscribe again, turn that noti bell on. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe there, and we'll get back to the show now. Okay. What games / series / whatever would you like to talk about next, Sam? I'll let you start it off first.
Let's talk about the Cavs.
Cavs.
Also, the lottery was tonight.
Yes.
So we don't know what happened yet. We'll
though.
chat about it in the Celtics post game if we're feeling good.
Yes, but
we'll
Cavs.
See.
Dead.
Yep. Cavs down 3-1 to the Pacers.
Dead.
They were in the same situation as the Celtics up until game 4. Lose the first 2 at home, dominate game 3. By the way, they lost the first 2 in the same fashion where they had a lead, blew it, and so on. They did not get across the finish line.
Well, that
Come on, game 3.
Pacers kind of controlled game 1.
Okay. Yeah.
At least in the first half. But true. Devastating game 2 blowout. Choke job.
Then they come out game 3, dominate like pretty similar to what the Celtics did at MSG on Saturday. And then game 4 happens. And I mean, they were losing by 41 points at halftime. They were only able to score 39. They were more than doubled up at the 24-minute mark. Not good. Credit to the Pacers. The Pacers made everything. They had 25 assists in the first half. Like, they were moving the ball well. The guys were just rewarding the passers with assists. I'm not going to hit the rim at all. It's just going to go straight through the net. They go on this massive run to end the half. Shout out Aaron Nesmith, just makes a pull up on the baseline to send it into the break. And from that point on, it was dead. Donovan Mitchell is hurt. Didn't come out for the second half. I believe it's an ankle problem he has, or a calf problem, lower leg injury. This was the NHL. That's what we would say.
He re-aggravated his previous injuries, what I saw. Yeah.
They feel very dead. And to be honest with you, this is fuck the Celtics because they fucked us where I can't have as much fun with this because the whole year I felt like the Cavs were fake and not
For all we
real.
know, their fate was met by the Celtics. Like they could have gone. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
imagine the
Just
Celtics
the
get pulled up by
Celtics
40.
could have done the exact same thing. Like we don't know yet, but that's why I have to be careful. I will say I just always felt like Cleveland wasn't quite
They're frauds.
the
They're frauds.
64 win team that they were and the juggernaut that they were made out to be. Going into the season, I picked the Pacers to be second in the conference.
Yep.
They earned a lot of respect from me and plenty of others in this community. Jack has been a big supporter of theirs in this playoff run. They have earned
Yep.
his respect. And this is why. They are a well-rounded team. They are almost the same team from last year. They've added Mathurin technically because he didn't play in the conference finals. So if you're
He
looking
didn't
ahead,
play much last night either.
yeah, he like dick punched DeAndre Hunter.
Chest. He punched him right here.
He punched him in the chest.
Yep.
Oh,
It
I
was a
thought I saw
close-
him punch him in the dick.
It was a closed fist though, and so that was enough for the flagrant too. It was lame.
And then
It was so
DeAndre
lame.
like slowly walked over to him and just pushed him down.
So stupid, man. Listen, I picked the Pacers before the series started. I made a whole TikTok why like I think the Pacers are a bigger threat to the Celtics and the Cavs, excuse me, or the Knicks. And obviously, maybe the Knicks have gone up 3-1 at this point, or maybe it's 2-2. Who knows, right? But just in general, like I think the Cavs are better built, or excuse me, the Pacers are better built for playoff basketball than the Cavs are, because I think the Cavs like lean into traditional playoff basketball too much without the talent to back it up, and the Pacers just take their own lane. And they go from there. And listen, the Cavs were hurt this series. They're missing Garland for the start of it. They missed Mobley and stuff. So, like, maybe it's different, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the playoffs. And Indy's going to go to the conference finals again, it looks like. So,
Can you imagine if they blow it?
would be crazy.
I literally can't imagine it, though. Like,
No.
The NBA is a very weird place because I think a lot of us would have thought Game 4 would have gone at least somewhat like Game 3, or at least would have been competitive. Can't believe it ended the way it did. It can be very unpredictable at times. The momentum between games sometimes does not exist at all. So the Cavs could get their mojo back and all of a sudden be this team that they were the entire year. But the Pacers are just getting really good production across the board. Like playoff Nembhard is back again. I think he's leading the entire round in assists. I saw that today online. He was a pain in the ass last year. He's remained a pain in the ass. I'm genuinely happy to see Nesmith playing well. Sucks that he never really got a chance to play with the Celtics just because of the stars on this team and the positions that they play. And he was always going to be buried regardless. But Indiana is a likable team. To me, in my opinion, they are a likable team. Some people may disagree.
Nesmith's a motherfucker. That Pacers team is so good, man. Just
one knock on the Pacers team.
Sure.
Did you see Halliburton didn't do press Game 3, and then he went right up there in Game 4 and was like,
"Oh no, that's lame.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I'm
that.
here today. I'm doing it today."
That's lame.
Yeah, tough look. I think
That's
that
lame.
it is the entire reason.
Did he
I'm
leave,
missing
or did he
context.
just not get thrown?
I
to
don't
the
think
podium?
I think he no-showed. Didn't do the podium.
I see. No, that's corny then. I don't like that at all. Okay. Thunder Nuggets quickly, and then Warriors Timberwolves. But I don't know how many like in-depth thoughts I have on Thunder Nuggets. I haven't watched the games as closely as necessary because yesterday I was out and about when the game was happening.
And the other games have been post-Celtics.
Yes. Jokic struggled a lot. Thunder also throwing 4 bodies at him every possession.
Yep.
And it's still a 2-2 series. Jamal Murray's been pretty good. Russ has been all right. Aaron Gordon's been Jesus Christ himself for the playoffs. MPJ stepping up. Christian Brown. So, like, they're playing well. I was saying this yesterday. I think the Thunder, a little bit fraud watch for me. Like, they're built really well for the regular season because of the defense. I know defense wins championships, quote unquote, air quotes.
That's what Nico said.
You got to be able to score in the playoffs. You have to be able to score in the playoffs, and you have to be able to score past your first option, because the Nuggets are doing a great job of pressuring Shea. Christian Brown gets a ton of credit for that. And then they don't really have a go-to. Like, the Thunder played an overtime game against the Nuggets in Game 3, And 3 of their X amount of shots in overtime were Isaiah Hartenstein floaters, and he airballed 2 of them. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. Like, and he's fine at those shots, but like, if you're ending a possession with an Isaiah Hartenstein floater from the mid range, probably not the best offensive possession. You probably need to be better. Lou Dort, I watched pass up a wide open 3 in overtime. That can't be a thing. You can't have guys who are going to do that on the floor. Like, could they make the finals? Absolutely. Could they wipe the floor with the Nuggets in these next 2 games? Absolutely. That offense is suspect. It has come into question, in my opinion, at this point.
I think the fraud watch thing is a little legitimate. Not so much so that I'm like, if they get to the finals, they're going to be a cakewalk if the Celtics end up there and play them. But more so, it's like they might not get out of this round. They really might be in trouble against Denver. Denver gave up at one point an 11-0 run to the Thunder in the fourth quarter. And then they also missed 3 out of 4 straight free throws. Jokic missed both with like 2 minutes left. They had their chances to try and ice that game, and they didn't really take them that well. If they just, sounds like another team I know. If they just finished the job yesterday, they would be in full command going into game 5 and would have an opportunity to close it out then or at home in game 6. And Jokic hasn't even played well. Like you said, he has not been able to score and put the ball in the basket the way he usually does. He's wildly inefficient right now. He's missing a lot of shots. OKC has done a really good job of defending him. And I think I buy the defense a little bit more than you do. Not that you say it isn't real, but I think the offensive shortcomings are very real too. But that is keeping them alive right now. If they didn't have the ability to do what they're doing to Jokic, they'd be cooked. They would be down at least 3-1.
Yeah, I agree. Shai's not that efficient in the playoffs though either so far. He's struggling a lot.
A lot of the stars are struggling in the playoffs. Can you believe it?
Yep, happens. That's how it works, man. Okay, Warriors, Timberwolves, shall we?
Warriors, Timberwolves.
I'll let you kick it off. I kicked off the last one.
2-1 Timberwolves. I was a little bit more skeptical after game 1. I was like, man, you just can't give up that win when Steph hurts his hamstring. Turns out Steph has not played in any of the games since. He's going to miss a little bit of time here. There's a weird break in this series where they have 3 days in between games. Might be a little bit of time for him to come back in that window. It's a real thing. It's like they play the 14th and they don't play again until
That's
the 18th.
weird. Did you hear what Gary Payton and Ant were talking about on the court? You see that clip?
No, what'd they say? What happened?
Ant just turned to me and goes, y'all just trying to get the series to 6 so Wardell comes back, and Gary Payton goes, yep. Yes,
of course
correct.
They are. Of course they are. They almost won that game. They were up late, and then they gave up a big run, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Kuminga just gets in the game and makes all his shots. He is the most enigma guy in the NBA,
Listen,
I think.
I saw a lot of people talk about this, and I'm gonna say it because it is her take. Noah says all the time. She goes, "Kuminga's the worst player in the NBA." She is not a Kuminga fan, or maybe that's dramatic, but she doesn't like Kuminga. And I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about it. And one of the takes I was like, Kuminga is fine. He just is does not work even a little bit with the offense they run through Steph Curry, and obviously you're gonna run through Steph Curry. I say it constantly. I've said it here so many times. I think the just super athletic guys are the most overrated thing. I think athleticism is the most overrated skill
every draft
in the NBA. Athleticism is the most overrated skill in the NBA. Look through the years. Anthony Bennett, Josh Jackson, Isaac Okoro. Sorry, Jordan Walsh. You know what I'm saying? Athleticism is just super overrated. Everybody in the NBA is athletic. Jokic is athletic. He's not a super athlete, but motherfucker runs up and down the basketball court for 40 minutes a night and he's fine. You know what I'm saying?
He plays in Denver.
Exactly.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
Luka, for all the shit he gets, he's athletic. He's more athletic than any one human walking around the streets in New York. He just compared to a normal human, I'm saying. Compared to any other fuckers. He is athletic. He's not Zion. But look how that's working out. Look how that athleticism is working out for his career. He's not as great an athlete as, remember Hamidou Diallo? Freak athlete. Doesn't fuck matter. It's just so irrelevant. Derek Jones Jr. is a fine NBA player, probably the best. Mac McClung. Athleticism only gets you so far, and it's the best possible, combination when you have athleticism of Giannis, but you're also one of the most dominant finishers around the rim in the NBA and a 2-time defensive player of the year, or the athleticism of Tatum, but you're also one of the best multi-tooled player in the league, or the athleticism of Shea, but you're also like the best scorer in the league. Like you have to have something and athleticism. You can't just be an athlete. I'm not saying Kuminga is that, but like it gets to a point. He's just, I don't know. And also, as far as Wolves Warriors, not to lose the plot too much, how crazy is it going to be if the Wolves get to the conference finals after they trade Cat again? Like, I shout out Ant all the time.
I think
Motherfucker's
you're
been
presenting
real
that the
good.
wrong way. I think it's how crazy is it that the Wolves will get to the conference finals if they trade
With
for
Julius
Julius Randle. That's the crazy
Listen,
part.
hey,
That's wild.
Julius Randle, this playoffs is
And he's
averaging.
been good.
That's what I'm saying. 22, 6, or 6 and 6 on 47-32 splits. Like he's been playing really good basketball for him. So credit to him. I said it at the time. Like
you're
I was
gonna
like,
hate
them
this.
having another shot creator who can also make plays is good.
That is very true. You're gonna hate this. I think there's a layer to it where Ant helps this too.
Ant's been awesome. Credit Ant. He's playing phenomenal.
Like last year, Cat really has this great season. He's unlocked. It feels like he's just like free. And Anthony Edwards was like his biggest supporter. They would do the double podiums after the games. They just had a really good relationship. He was really good at enabling Cat to play the way he wanted to and kind of not have a weird pressure about it. And I think the same may have happened with Randall.
Maybe. He's probably a great teammate. Like he's probably an awesome teammate, great vibes.
Just not a good partner.
Shitty human.
All right.
but he's probably a fine teammate. He's a phenomenal basketball player. Like I don't want to get it twisted. I think he's a little overrated last year, but shooting 43-34 is not super efficient, but no star has been averaging 27, 9 rebounds, almost and 5 assists on 1.6 turnovers. Like he's had phenomenal playoffs. Solid defense too. The biggest thing for me though is Jaden Daniels averaging 16 points in the playoffs on 58-40 splits. Ding, ding, ding. Like, there you go. That's going to give you a real fucking boost. And then Rudy Gobert has been the rim protector that he always has been, averaging 4 offensive rebounds a night. That's huge. They just got guys. They got a quality starting unit. They've got good players. Ant is taking the leap to superstar from star. And that's what matters. And, I mean, I don't want to say they drew an easy path, but they got an incomplete Warrior or Lakers team and Warriors team without Steph. Like sometimes that's what matters, as the Celtics saw last year. Like the playoffs include luck, and that's not a shot at the Wolves, but like the playoffs include luck, and they got ideal matchups, and they're taking fucking care of business. So credit to them. I don't know if the Warriors are cooked because all you got to do is get Steph back, and then who knows what can happen. But right now, it doesn't look great for them.
Game 4 is a must-win for them today. That's for sure.
You can't go down 3-1. Yeah, you got to win this one.
Can't go down 3-1 going on the road.
Big.
That's tough. Very
That's
tough
big,
for
yeah.
them. Sucks, man. I really like low-key rooting for the Warriors. Just think
like the
they're the
Warriors to
most entertaining
Steph.
storyline team. Steph, Jimmy, like
Steph might be the most entertaining player to watch that I've ever seen.
Like if the Celtics made the finals, that would be like the best wrestling setup finals, like possible. Jimmy, Steph from the 2020
if the Celtics
season.
made it, yes.
Yes.
There is, I think Knicks Wolves would be the best.
That would be a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're rooting against that vehemently.
Sure. If the Celtics do like whatever, get eliminated, that is what I would root for. I'd root for a Knicks Wolves finals. I think that'd be interesting. Actually, that's a lie. I'd root for the Pacers. I don't want the Pacers in the finals. I think that'd be real fun. But I would be very invested in a Knicks Wolves. You can hate this all you want. I've said this multiple times. I really like this Knicks team. I think they have very fun players. I think it's great.
Think the players
I love
are
Brunson.
fine.
I love Josh
Not
Hart.
Cat.
I like
Fuck
Towns.
Cat.
I like Towns.
Everything is whiny. His celebrations are whiny. He's the worst.
Sure. I like Towns. I like Brunson. I like Josh Hart. Josh Hart rocks. Like I think they have a fun team. I love Tibbs. Tibbs is great. So
I really like Tibbs.
Exactly. So.
Tibbs is the coach I was most surprised to just his
see
vibe
the way he acted.
Yeah, like cool guy, very nice guy, thoughtful.
Yes.
Fan of Tibbs. Will Hardy, winner of the year coaches, by the way.
Will Hardy's good too.
He was the man.
Okay. Anything else from Wolves Warriors? Or are you chilling?
Wolves Warriors, no. just quick update. Giannis might not want to play in Milwaukee. We learned that today.
Where'd you see that?
Shams broke the biggest story that nobody
Oh.
could have possibly ever predicted could happen this summer. And
I
as
saw
you would
Rockets,
imagine,
Spurs. That's what I saw.
the Nets
And
are like,
Nets.
we would love to have Giannis on our team. The Nets, I
Rockets,
tweeted
Spurs,
it.
Nets.
The Nets are the kid in like the high school movie that has a crush on the lead girl that will never get the girl, but they like never give up hope. That is them thinking about Giannis. They're like every time there's even like a rumbling, like maybe Giannis will be upset, everyone's like Nets. Nets really want him. So that's where they stand.
Listen,
with this.
I don't think the Nets would be the best situation for Giannis. I don't think it would be bad either. Like if you really
I think
think
they have
about
wiggle
it,
room with what they can do.
exactly, they could build an entire team around Giannis. Like the Rockets, I think would be cool, but the spacing on the team would be a fucking disaster. That would be a mess. They would have no spacing, right? I think it'd be good and they could figure it out. But the Spurs, I think, would be phenomenal. De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, and Giannis would be disgusting because you could trade theoretically like Stephon Castle, all the picks in the world, Jeremy Sohan, figure it out from there. And I think they have some like Hawks picks too, so I think they could actually have some value. But like the
Celtics?
Nets, no. But like
Can
the
they
Nets,
legally do it?
it would have to be Jalen, I think.
That's the only way. Because someone
yeah.
replied to my tweet today and was like, "Would you do Jalen?" And I wanted to be like, CBA says no, but I wasn't sure.
Let me double check. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Jalen makes slightly more. Or they make the
When the
exact
Bucks
same.
are no longer a separate second apron team because of Middleton.
Actually, I think I lied to you. I don't think it's legal. I think Jalen doesn't make as much as Giannis, so I'm gonna double check and see what the
We're answering
exact
the question.
numbers are.
Everybody's like, "What if the Celtics get him?"
Yeah, let me see. So Giannis makes or Jalen makes 49.205. Yeah, Giannis makes 48.787. I think that would carry over into next year too. So they could do Jalen for Giannis in
So
theory.
Giannis is on the Celtics. All right,
sure.
Yeah.
But like back to reality, the Nets, like first, also, I don't think the Bucks, after letting Drew Holiday get to the Celtics, would allow that to happen. But if it goes to the Nets, right? Theoretically, all the Suns picks, which would be good for the Bucks because they don't have picks.
They need it. They have no picks.
They could give up maybe the top 10 pick they get this year, maybe like a 2 or 3 or something, and then whoever else. If you keep Cam Johnson in that trade, you'll have a spacer. If you keep Nick Claxton, maybe you'll have a spacer. And if the Bucks want them, give them up anyways and just take the cap room. Sign whoever you want in free agency and build your team. Like you can build a good team around Giannis, in my opinion, that way. So we'd have to see, but it would be awkward. I like the Spurs the best though, from a human interest and Giannis perspective, chance to win. So we'll see.
Milwaukee should run it back.
And I don't hate the Celtics either. It's not gonna happen. But
little head poke out of the mole hole in the ground.
I wouldn't do it.
Mole.
Listen, I wouldn't do it if I'm the Celtics. I wouldn't trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis just because of the way they play, and I don't think the Bucks would ever do it either. But if it gets to a point where they're like, all right, we need to make the move, like also like everyone's like, oh, they're gonna have to make moves anyways. This would not help the salary cap at all, not even a little bit. So this would be purely we want to trade Giannis for Jaylen, and I don't think they do that.
I think it makes it easier to do some of the other moves if you do it, I suppose.
Listen, though, anybody who says, oh, I don't know, I wouldn't, like, I definitely not trade. Giannis is the second best player in the world, third best player in the world. Like, of course you'd think, like,
Tatum's
KD thing,
probably in
right?
the top 5.
So, regardless, though, it's not going to happen, and it's relevant. But, Ratless, Sam, what you got?
Ratless is the kid that saw Brad Stevens on the street and went up to him and was like, Knicks in 5. Bookmarked it.
Listen. Objectively funny. I'm sorry.
What if Brad Stevens just like wrung his neck? He just, come here, you little shit. And he just like grabs him.
He's like, so he just like straight face pulls like a Godfather pulls out a gun. Sorry. He just fucking. No, yeah, objectively funny, but like whack.
It's just the balls to fucking do that.
Ratless New York, man.
See, like this is I just can't root for them. I can't root for these people. They're the worst people on the planet. They're terrorists.
They're the equivalent to Boston fans. I just need you to know that. Like they're the same.
They're Larry-less Boston fans. It's a sad bunch.
Sure, but they're the same. It's the same thing. I will Ratless the city though. I'll hop on board with that. I just hate New York.
I know you hate it.
What'd you say?
I know you hate it. I think it's so weird that you hate it.
Bobby just goes, it smells like ass. It does smell like
It
ass.
does smell
It's
like
just too many fucking people. There's so much going on. It's like, I don't know. Boston's
You
just
take
so
the
much
subway
better.
at all?
Hell no.
I love
Hell
the
no, I didn't take
subway.
the subway. We should walk.
I just think it's so cool you can walk everywhere. I guess like you live in
You can walk
Boston,
everywhere
so
in
like
Boston.
yeah, like it's not like I live in like a suburban area. Like it's not
Yeah.
like that for me. So I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I just step outside and like go for a run. There
No,
are
I
too
just
many
take
people
the
to go
T.
for a good run. That I will say.
I just take the T at the bus in Boston. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm chilling. So I do that. And
Best thing you've done there? Have you done anything that you were like, this was nice?
We hooped.
Say
we
something
hooped.
nice challenge.
We played basketball at the Brooklyn Bridge Park basketball court. So it was like on the water.
Oh, it's like underneath, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's under like some canopies. So we played there. And so me, Bobby, and Justin played threes at the start. We won like 3 in a row, right? Then Bobby sat out one. So me and Justin were with these 2 other kids. Like we played with some randoms who were there. And
That's
Justin
fun.
and I won 6-7 games in a row with those kids. So Justin
That's
and I stayed on
fire.
the court. Justin and I won for like 2.5 hours straight.
That's awesome.
Justin could not miss from the corner. JJ Redick, Kyle Korver.
You're the guys on Park that just have like the 50 fire thing on the court.
He was prime PJ Tucker. Merchant. like
PJ Tucker might still be in his prime. He's over there
in the
yelling.
kindest way. No. I mean like he hit. I can't remember the exact number. Like 6 or 7, maybe 8 threes in one game. Like we won 16-14. He hit every 3. Like they were all corner threes. I played well. I was like in the post a lot. I played a lot better when it was like me, Justin, and Bobby because I would just post up and I mean, I'm pretty good in the post. I'm all right. So I was like doing my shit. I hit a Dirk fade at the start of the game. I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna cook today. I'm gonna be pretty good. The last team we played though was fouling the fuck out of us though. I got like the loudest slap you've ever heard on my arm, and I still made the shot, and I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Didn't even call it. Just shrugged your shoulders.
I just made the shot. They fouled me 4 times, and I was just like, I just kept getting the rebound and getting there was one play where I made the shot, and the kid was like hacking me 4 times. My glasses fell off, and I still made it, and I caught my glasses in my mouth, like as they're falling off. Like I grabbed them. It's kind of sick.
That is,
but good runs, great runs. Terp was as hot as I've ever seen anybody from 3.
Terp is always hot.
Remember that one night that I played in Rhode Island that I just couldn't miss?
Yes,
it was crazier. It was crazier than that. It was crazier than that. Motherfucker's a shooter. He does not hold back, and it is fun to watch. Dude, there was one like the game winner. Like I was under the hoop because I play in the post, and so I was waiting for the rebound, and I just watched the game winner go up, and I just like I could see it trailing it. I was just like, "There's no fucking way this is about to go in right now." He was making the most ridiculous shots ever. Credit, shout out.
Man is a flamethrower.
Literally the hottest I've ever seen anybody on a basketball court. Genuinely.
That's
oh
awesome.
Yeah, bro. I was there was one
On
point
the
where
road.
I'm getting doubled in the post, and I literally I'm like, I know Justin's in the corner down there. Probably reminded me. I just throw it behind me, and he's just in the corner because I'm like I know where he'll be. I was like, trans cash, crazy.
Rat List is caring about the outcomes of these games. It is nerve wracking. I couldn't even go for a run on Saturday. I got like a mile in, and I was like, I can't do it. You ever try and like exercise when you're like really anxious? It's so hard.
No,
it just
no,
like
I have not.
Running might be the hardest one because like you're alone with your thoughts. I mean, I have music on, but like you're really like left to just sit there and think. And I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, well, if I'm if I stop my run, like, is that a bad omen for the Celtics? Like, are they going to stop like
So
they have in the first 2 games? No. I tried, and then I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do it. I'm going to walk. And I walked. But
walking's fine. Walking's fine.
It was Saturday felt like the highest stakes personal game ever because I really cared, obviously cared. But I had an engagement party to go to for like a couple that my girlfriend and I are friends with. And I knew if they lost, I was going to be a pouty little bitch. I was.
So you were probably in a great mood at that party, huh?
Oh, I was in a great mood. I showed up. Everybody was happy to see me. They knew I was ready to talk about it. The eventual groom is a big fan. Another one of our friends is a big fan, so we were talking about it. And the best part of all of it, though, was making Kaylin have to really be invested because she knew I was going to be a pouty little bitch if I didn't have them win. So she was also invested. And there was the moment where they were up 27 points. And I tweeted this. And she's like, you can smile. And I was like, no, you can't. You don't know. You don't know what I've seen.
It was funny. After game 2, Michaela texted me, and she was like, my roommate just came out and asked me what was wrong. And she goes, I'm upset about the game. And her roommate goes, you're what? What are you fucking talking? Because she doesn't watch basketball until like she met me. But she's like, she's like, I've never like been more invested than I am now.
It's true, man. Like, not to pat ourselves on the back, like it's kind of part of our job, but I think I have this quality, and you probably have it too. I feel like we're really good at making people in our lives care, without my like emotions involved. Like I think we're able to explain to people like why this is so cool. And,
bro,
like,
I had her watching Pacers Cavs game 2. You know how stupid that is? We had Pacers Cavs games 2 on one monitor and Derek White blocks compilation on the other one.
It's incredible. Like I was like, I want to put this game on. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah. It's not even like one of the games the Celtics were in. She was like, no, I think it's cool. I was like, what?
It's great. It's great vibes. All right. I don't got anything else. You got anything else?
One final rat list. Rat list is so we went out yesterday. It was a nice day here. And we wanted to go like walking in a park. So we went to this park in a part of Rhode Island called Jamestown. Jamestown is, if you look at the geographical map of Rhode Island, there is an island that's just in the middle of the water. That's Jamestown. But there's bridges to get there. Like you don't have to take a ferry or anything. It's very easy to get there. It rained a lot this week. So all these like trails, first of all, this is the first time I've ever been to a park that doesn't have like a walkway, like a walkway. Or at least like the dirt is like packed enough where it's not soil, it's like dirt.
I'm looking
gravelly.
for Jamestown right now. I'm just getting a vibe, yes.
And I'll tell you what, it was like fucking quicksand out there. Just stepping. I'm wearing an old pair of running shoes, and if you look at all of my athletic shoes, at least from like the last like couple years, they have holes above the big toe. So I just have fucking slop on the socks. And my shoes are gross. And the worst part about this is there are certain parts of like the little trail things that have bridges or little wooden blocks to step on so you don't have to deal with the mud. There was one section that had this, and then immediately after there was another like quicksand pit. Like, did you run out of wood?
That's fucked.
It was fun. I'm glad we went. I had a good time.
Jamestown big? Like, is it its own town, like with schools and stuff, or is it just like a little island?
I don't know if there are schools there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at it right now on my phone. It looks like tiny, but there's like a town there.
Oh yeah. We were like leaving, and I was like, "Do you think they have like McDonald's on this island? Like, do you think they have chain restaurants? Like, I don't think they do."
Let me look. So I'm looking at Jamestown right now, just like on my map of my phone. They have a marketplace. They have a Cumberland Farms.
We drove by the Cumberland Farms. That I did see.
They have an art table, which is a little restaurant, I think. They have a barbershop, yoga. They have a golf course.
No, I mean, you see this place. If there's one thing that you know they're gonna have, it is a golf course. No doubt in your mind they have a golf course as soon as you get over there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of chain places, but it does look like there's like some restaurants and stuff, but like local places.
I'm not sure if they have a school. I think they might have to like go to Narragansett for their school.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
But anyways, it was a good time.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was curious. I always think little communities like that are super interesting.
Me too. Like Block Island? Block Island?
Yeah, but I was like
this is
I used to look. This is so random. I used to like just go on Google Earth and find random islands in the middle of the ocean. And there's one off the coast of like Madagascar. It's called Reunion. It's just like a bunch of mountains, but there's towns over there. People live there. It's off the coast of Madagascar. in fucking Africa, and there's two. There's Emeritus and like look at this. Ready? I'll show you. I'm gonna like so this is Madagascar, right? It's like
Yep.
off the coast of Africa or whatever, and you zoom in all the way next to it. You see those tiny little fucking islands?
Yes.
It's Reunion, but it's like a bunch of like there's people, like people live there. I don't know. I just look at shit like that all the time. Like, how the fuck is out here? Anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else?
That's it. We can wrap it up right there.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn the noti bell on. I'll let Sam take it out.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, tell us how you're feeling after game 4. I sure hope it's good. I need it to be good. We need to be feeling good. We just need something to do for another month, at the very least. You can also subscribe and hit the bell because regardless if they keep playing or not, we will be here every day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps with more after each game. Other videos are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us streaming pregame live here for a half hour before each tip-off. It was a lot of fun last time. We had RJ come out, fill in for Jack. We're always hanging out, getting you ready for tip-off. Come hang out. It's a lot of fun. Spotify and Apple, we are there too. All pods and game recaps are up there, audio only. So if you just want those, they will go right to your feed if you give us a follow. Leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends. We'd appreciate that very much. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading all your emails on every show. Big thank you to everybody who reached out today. RJ, Ben, Isaac. We appreciate that so much. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jackson NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Check Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.